So, of this cosmic dream, a dream disclosed to her the cosmic past. That is what we are doing, the cosmic past, the entire history of evolution, starting from the beginning of inconscience. That is what suddenly comes in the view of Savitri. Now, it is coming, of course, with a certain purpose also. She has to deal in the context of that cosmic past, what is at present. She has to deal in the context of that cosmic past again, what she is here for, that is the future. So, in the context of the cosmic past, the present, the imminent death of her husband, and then future, the new possibilities of evolution that can open out, it is that she is going to view in her dream consciousness, in the Swapna. Now, we had done half of the section of this particular part, starting from a dream disclosed to her the cosmic past, and now the yogi is telling us, yes, this has to happen, this has to happen, this has to happen. In the cosmic past, there are already some seeds, and all the world's possibilities in man are waiting as a tree waits in its seed. So this seed is already there in the entire cosmic past. It has to now grow up, flower up, and bring something new out of it, you see. His past lives in him, it drives his future space. His presence acts, fashion his coming fate. So all the three divisions of time are brought together into glowing focus. What is it for? The past, what is the present, what is the future? It is that now which is going to be decided at this particular moment of her yogic realization, Savitri. Now, before we start with this one, let us go back to a few issues which are involved also in a few sentences earlier than what we are going to do now. See, well, in house and house, the huge uprising grows. Well, that is how the reaction, the revolt from the subconscious forces is coming up, you see. Hence, companies are loosed to do their work. Companies, there are all kinds of groups of creatures, animals, beings, companies, all kinds of them. Now here, I got a list of these companies. Yeah. Herd of cows. That is a company, herd of cows. So that's a group of cows. See. Now, flock of chickens or flock of believers, you see. School of fish. Call it group of fish, you call it school of fish. Gaggle of geese. Pride of lions. Murder of crows, a group of crows. Exaltation of doves, dove, D-O-V, doves. Parliament of owls, parliament of owls. Sheep of flock, pack of mule, pack of fools also, of course. Pack of wolves, see. Then group of baboons, troop tribes, clans, group of baboons, they're called Congress. So, so all our Congress people are actually a group of baboons, you see. So here we have got health companies. All these people, creatures are there, you see. Companies, you see, comprise, are loose to do their work. They are there nourishing. All kinds of things here. Into the earth ways, they break out from all doors. Whatever passage is possible, they will enter into our life, into the life of earth. Invade with bloodlust and a will to slay, like hyena. See, a tiger is at least a considerate creature, but hyena has absolutely no consideration. And filled with horror and carnage, God's fair world. In fact, they don't know that it's a fair world of God. They don't care. It is all for their rapacious greed, whatever is there. Then, this is a line which you had pointed out last time. Mark had pointed out this line particularly. Death and his hunters stop evicting earth. Now, again, hunters, it is a part of that company. See, the poet is very consistent. Hunters is a group of people, the minions of death, Yama's Duta, as we call them, Yama Dutas, the minions, the servants of Yama. They are the hunters, dogs, pouncing upon the soul of man. See. Death and hunters stop a victim earth. Now, we saw that stop means they arrest the progress, the movement, the growth of the earth. They halt, they arrest, they hold it back, the forward movement of the earth. That is what the death really does, you see. Hunters really do it. Now, this word stop is there in the first edition of Savitri. In all the subsequent editions of Savitri, what you have is stuck, S-T-A-L-K. S-T-A-L-K. Well, it does make, to stalk means pursue, to chase. It does make sense. Stalk, S-T-A-L-K, stalk means pursue. Pursue. Chase. Yeah. Stalk means pursue, approach a prey. Stalk means approach a prey, pursue a prey, chase a prey. So that makes sense. There's no doubt about that. Yeah, but now the question is, I checked my notes and other things also, and the first time stop was changed to stuck, S-T-A-L-K, was in 1954, and that continued in all the other subsequent editions of Savitri. So that was Amal's doing. Yes, 1954, he was basically responsible for all these things, you see. So that was, he changed it, stop to stuck. Perhaps he didn't understand that stop could mean the way we are trying to understand. And he says, okay, hunters, they are chasing the prey. So he said, it should be stuck, not stop, you see. And that stuck continued in all the other editions of Savitri. Stuck. Now, Amal, of course, is a clever man. He was, he was a very clever man, and mother has said so, that he is really extremely clever. See. He is See, there is no basis given anywhere how stop has become stuck. Normally, you go back to the revised edition, you go back to the documents, you go back to the manuscripts, you go back to the typescripts, all those things, and say how the changes have taken place. No information about that is given anywhere. No details are available there at all. So, what I would say, make a conjecture that perhaps, possibly, this line is a dictated line. Huh. Is a dictated line. And foolish Nirod, instead of hearing stuck, he wrote stop. Stuck, yeah. Stuck. Srimad might have said stuck, and he heard stop, and he wrote stop, and then stop continued. That's the only kind of a conjecture I can give in the justification for changing stop to stuck, if it is a dictated line. But I will not go by that. The 50 is very clear, it is stop, you see. It's very clear, it's stop. And although Nirod might have made a mistake in hearing stuck or stop, this line, this whole passage was read out to Sri Aurobindo a number of times. See, when Sri Aurobindo dictates the whole thing, at the end of the dictation, he reads out the entire dictation back to Sri Aurobindo. So he would hear what he is speaking, that you see. Then it was to get typed. Again, the typescript used to be read out to Sri Aurobindo. The typescript carrying stop. Obviously, yeah, obviously. Yeah. So, in other words, we can say that although Nirod might have heard stop for stuck, but Sri Aurobindo hears stop as stop only. He doesn't hear as stuck, you see.
But what does it mean stop?
Huh?
How we can understand stop?
Stop.
A victim, it means...
Here stop means the death hunters are holding back the victim earth. They are not allowing the earth to go forward.
Oh, so it's not the same meaning.
Yes.
Prison the earth.
Instead of the hunters chasing earth, we are saying that they are holding earth back.
But the hunter, in the end of his hand, he will stop the victim. It's same. I mean,
No, victim is gone. Then the earth is gone.
No, but it's same meaning. I mean,
No, then the earth is gone. Then the earth is gone. Stuck means it is there and you are chasing, pursuing. You have not swallowed up yet earth. So that is the, beyond that I can't say anything. I mean, we'll have to really check whether this is a dictated line, whether it is there in Sri Aurobindo's handwriting at all anywhere. It has to be a dictated line. This I can assure. This I can definitely feel pretty convinced. In fact, the whole of book 7 is practically a dictated book. In 1947, Sri Aurobindo had made few notes here and there on chit pads and like that, but otherwise the entire book is practically a dictated book. So we can say that this is a dictated line, and the benefit of doubt can be given to Amal that Nirod heard. Beyond that we can't say. But I in my opinion, stop does make sense, and it should not be dismissed. Anyway, my objection is when the revised edition is being prepared, when they are saying stop and sticking to stuck, they should give some note, some clarification, what is the background behind the whole thing, instead of changing like that simply. Then,
It must be stopped.
huh?
It must be stopped.
It is stop.
No, for you.
For me, it is stop.
Stop.
Yes.
You use stop.
I go by this. Yeah. It makes good sense, you see. Then there is another great mystery. Again, absolutely no basis is available for a change. Nowhere. This line. This evil nature house in human hearts a foreign inhabitant. So I will read this part of the sentence as a single statement. This evil nature housed in human hearts a foreign inhabitant, which is plain enough. In other words, it is nature who is evil. She is housing in human hearts a foreign inhabitant. Or evil is an adjective for nature. What kind of nature? Evil nature. Now these people, pardon me? Now these people, they are put here. Now, in the revised edition and in other places also, you have a comma after hearts. It makes sense. It means that
not evil.
this evil, nature housed in human hearts. It makes another sense, you see. This evil, whatever is described earlier, that has housed in human hearts. All that thing was there, crookedness, etc., creations, rocks and bottom, that was housed in human heart by nature. In other words, this evil as a noun stands for all that has happened here. With a comma here after hearts. So, with a comma, evil becomes a noun. Without a comma, evil becomes an adjective. See, the comma is very significant. You see, punctuation is important that way. The original edition is without comma after hearts. So I would take evil as an adjective for nature. And it is evil nature who housed in human hearts a foreign inhabitant. If you put a comma, this would mean this evil, nature housed in human hearts. This evil, nature housed a foreign inhabitant. This evil, nature housed a dangerous guest. If you put a comma after hearts, this is what it means. The soul that harbors it, it can dislodge. Now this it could mean evil, could mean inhabitant, could mean guest. Expel the householder because it has been housed now in his heart. Possess the house. Take charge of the whole thing. This is what happens. So these are very peculiar kind of issues connected with the editing of Savitri. And unless we have all the data sheets, documents, papers, we can't say anything at all, you see, beyond that. But there is no reason given at all why hearts, after hearts, there should be a comma. The whole meaning, the whole context changes. A comma makes evil a noun instead of an adjective, see. So, in such cases, the best thing will be to go by what is there in the original edition and still be aware of the possibilities of this thing, you see. Now, it is very likely that this comma was put later on by my friend Amal Kiran. Yeah, he says, oh, this doesn't make any sense, let us put a comma. Shivantu can always make slips, you see, so let us correct him, you see. An opposite potency contradicting God, a momentary evil's almightiness has straddled the straight path of nature's acts. Now again here you have evil, where it is definitely a noun. With a capital E. This E is not capital E. If it were this evil, nature house in human heart, then I would make that E also capital. Now, an opposite potency, well, all the possibilities of the superconscient creation, when they get lost in the inconscience, they become opposite potencies, opposite possibilities in the inconscience. This is what we have got all along here. And that is what Savitri is seeing, that whatever was beautiful, fine, powerful life, living, all that in truth, has become an opposite in the inconscience. An opposite potency, and therefore that will contradict God. If the superconscient possibility asserts God, the opposite of it in the inconscience will be to oppose God. A momentary evil's almightiness has straddled the straight path of nature's acts. See again, this evil and this nature's acts. It made it very clear. But basically, the important aspect is, until now, in the cosmic dream, what Savitri was seeing is the opposite potency. Until now. And therefore, we have got here a Manichaean creator and destroyer. Opposite potency, creation and destruction. Both simultaneously. Therefore, he is Manichaean. He is evil, he is good. He is creator, he is destroyer. Now, of course, according to the law of karma or law of ethical morality, you have simultaneously good being rewarded with positive things, evil being punished by negative things, by taking it back. So that is the Manichaean justice done to man. Evil is punished, good is rewarded. That is the Manichaean duality which is there in our ethical conception of things, you see. This can abolish man, annul his word. This Manichaean creator and destroyer. He has both the possibilities of doing simultaneously. Now, Sri Aurobindo has used this Manichaean concept in number of places in his writings, in the Life Divine, in many other places also. And I got here one, there are a number of quotations, but I will just read one particular one from volume 16 of the collected work. Volume 16, Supreme Manifestation in the SABC volume 16. Page 179. The terrestrial law. That is the heading of the chapter, terrestrial law. And there he says, the world we see is to our notions, the world we see to our notion, if not immoral, yet non-moral and contradictory to the idea of what it should be. We have a certain idea about the world, but what we see is something opposite to that in the world. Therefore, we go behind it. What we see is something, but what idea we have got here, therefore we try to go behind this world, behind it. Discover that this earth life is not all. Erect new their our moral rule and rejoice and find that after all, the universe does not obey our human conceptions and therefore all is well. We see that the world should be like this, but what we see here is ugly, dirty, all kind of cruel things that are happening around here. And our idea is it should be a very beautiful, nice, sweet, harmonious world. So what we try to do is we try to go behind the idea of the world to see what should be, you see. And rejoice, after all, the universe does obey our human conception, after all, the universe does obey our human conception and therefore all is well. The idea behind our world is what we feel happy about it. The mysterious conflict, the Manichaean struggle. This is the Manichaean struggle. The opposite coming together. This is Manichaean. The Manichaean struggle, the inextricable tangle here of good and evil is not cured or accounted for, but we say that at least the good and the evil are justly dealt with according to their kind. Good is dealt with according to good kind, evil is dealt according to its kind. This duly rewarded and duly punished in other worlds or other births. So if I am doing good in other worlds, I will get good rewards of it. Okay. Or what we call it, we accumulate punya, merit. From life to life it goes. If you do evil things, then you accumulate papa, sin, and that you suffer for that in the other worlds. And this duly rewarded and duly punished in other worlds or other births. There is therefore a dominant moral law, and we may cherish a faith that the good will prevail. That is a faith, an act of faith. Prevail. Ahura Mazda, conquer and not Ahriman. That is our good faith. It is Ahura Mazda who will conquer and not Asura. But Deva, God, he will conquer and not Asura. And on the whole, all is as it should be. So that is what we visualize and we kind of console ourselves. All right, there is good, there is evil. So if I follow good, I will be rewarded. If I follow evil, I will be punished. And therefore, I will mold my life according to those moral ideals which I got with me and carry on till you see. So it is this Manichaean creator can abolish man. So this is one example here I have given you about the Manichaean creator from this one, the terrestrial law. That is the terrestrial law, you see. And in other places in the Life Divine, in fact, I have put that thing on the net also on our. I send you around also. Yeah. But there is a guardian power. So although we have got this Manichaean creator, the consolation is this: all right, all right, all right, there is so much of evil in this world, but be happy also that there is somebody who takes care of you, who loves you, who will give you all the help you will need during your difficult times. But there is a God in power. There are hands that save, calm eyes, divinely guard the human seed. So all this carnage, massacre, all that he has described here, all that is also seen by a divine eye. And he is not disturbed, he remains calm in spite of all that. We suffer, but that fellow is calm. Eyes, calm eyes, divinely guard the human scene. So this human scene Savitri is seeing now. And therefore now, if it is the calm eyes who is seeing the human scene, what for? What is he seeing in the human possibility? All right, massacre is there, etc., admitted. But behind that, what is he seeing? He sees that all the world's possibilities in man are awaiting as the tree waits in its seed. This is what the divine eye, the regard, the calm eye sees. Yes, we have got all possibilities present in us. Our DNA is designed for these possibilities to open out. It is there. It's a question of evolution, of going through the entire process. It has to happen, you see. All the world's possibilities in man are awaiting as a tree waits in its seed. Now this is, well, of course he says, his past lives in him. It drives his future space. The past drives the future. His present acts fashion his coming fate. So, past, what has gone behind, all our activities, all our causes, they are there, and they are in a way driving the future space. Future. Basically what it means that in the past itself, there are things waiting in the seed. In the past itself, there are things waiting in the seed of the past itself. And it is they who are driving the future space. The movement, the unfolding is because of them. See. His presence acts fashion his coming fate. What is going to happen? That is now being fashioned by them. Now this is something, therefore in fact he concludes the same thing. The unborn gods hide in his house of life. The gods had to take birth in the house of life. They had to take birth in the house of life, you see. That is what the possibilities are waiting. Possibilities are waiting, you see. Now, this is a long philosophical discourse. Past, what is called the philosophical language, atit, what has gone behind, atit. Future, anagata, which has not arrived, anagata, future. Present, vartamana, the current thing, vartamana. So you have got vartaman, the present, it is that which you use. The past, atita, which has gone behind, and the future. Now, in a deeper philosophical sense, it is not that the past is dead. Past is not dead. We say it is gone, it doesn't mean that it has gone away. Good riddance, it's not that. It is possible for us in the present to shape, of course, our future. But while shaping our future, we have to also work upon the past. It is there in us. You have to do work upon the past. That you cannot escape. All that has to be done, has to be also done on the past, so that the future does not get affected by the wrongs of the past later on. Otherwise, they can again jump up any time and build the future then. So, while we are here in the present and doing things, we are working out for the future, but we also see that the past is becoming more and more luminous, more and more happier, sweeter, brighter. We transform the past. We work upon the past. Transform the subconscious is there. You have to purify it. You have to make that degenerate stuff into something which is living, luminous, bright, and make it a part of the future. That has to happen, you see. Fashion is coming fate, and therefore the gods can hide. In the Sanskrit language, what is it called? I will read that thing. Shivananda speaks of that thing here. Page 98. Oh, it's opening. Yeah. Well, you can read that in more detail. He says, Ekam Bijam Bahuda Shakti Yogat. That is the Sanskrit phrase. Now, what it means is that one seed with the universal self-existence by process of force has disposed in many ways. Well, one seed with the universal self-existence. He has cast one seed. One seed with the universal self-existence. He is self-existent. He has cast the seed. By a force. How he has cast? By his force. By his Shakti. Disposed in many ways. With all the possibilities with one seed. Way. Ekam Bijam. Ekam means one. Bijam means seed. Ekam Bijam. Bahuda, many. Bahuda. Shakti Yogat. By his Yoga Shakti, he has dispersed them in many ways, you see. Shakti Yoga. But even the principle of development is one, and the structural ground plan too is it developed step by step. Although the seed is there, in many ways there, but the sequence, the seed is there. The way it grows into a tree and bears fruit, there is a process. Or a long, it has to go on. So that is the bija. The bija means seed. You see. Basically, this line refers to this concept. Where is in its seed? You got a small little fig tree, fig seed, fig, just a little like that. But then when things happen, it grows into a huge big banyan tree, you see. It is present there. The banyan tree is present in the seed itself, you see. It has been planted already in the seed, the tree is there. You are not able to see. But the process of time and all the possibilities which are there, they nourish it up and bring out a tree, you see. So all the possibilities are waiting in the tree, waits in a seed, you see. Tree waits in its seed. Now I told you last time, earlier, not last time, long ago, the story of Narad, you see, about a cobbler who was a great devotee, you see, and that cobbler asked Narad, what is Vishnu now busy with in his heaven? And then Narad says, he is trying to push an elephant to the eye of a needle. He is busy trying to push an elephant to the eye of a needle. And the cobbler says, yes, 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 I know he can do it. Yes, it is possible. Vishnu can definitely do it. And then Narada asks, how? How do you know that? Look, I am sitting under the banyan tree, this small little seed. Vishnu has already put the entire tree in that seed. He has achieved a miracle. He has achieved a miracle, you see. So he can do that. You see. So in this cosmos, we don't see that thing, but the entire divine manifestation is already present in this seed in us. The possibility of the divine manifestation is already is implied in the entire creation. It has to happen. The supramental transformation is decreed and inevitable in the process of earth evolution. That was the message Sri Aurobindo had given. That was what Sri Aurobindo had written in 1927 in that book, The Mother, in 1927. And that was the last message, darshan message, which was given on 24th November 1950, just a few days before Sri Aurobindo's withdrawal. Supramental manifestation is decreed, inevitable and decreed in the process of earth. That was the last message. It means that he had put the entire yogic force in that last message, that it does happen. The seed is charged now fully with that power. It has to happen. That glowing content is there, it has to simply burst out now. He has already put that thing there in the seed. That is good. See, it's very remarkable. Last message from Sri Aurobindo comes like that, you see. It is not by thought, but by the yogic logic. These things happen automatically, you see. 24th November 1950, absolutely the last message, you see. So the whole of yogic force is there in that message, you see. So that is the seed. And that seed is waiting for the possibilities. It is web. And those possibilities had to be worked out first by the mother. She has to work them out first, you see. Savitri has to work out those possibilities. That is what Savitri is saying. That the unborn gods are hiding there behind. The seed which is pregnant with all those possibilities has to burst out and bring out a new creation. It has to happen. You see. The unborn gods hide in his house of life. Actually, there are a lot of passages. I think I have sent some of them already on the mail, no? Let me read a couple of them. Rebirth is the only possible machinery for evolution. If all that thing has to happen, then it's only by rebirth. Rebirth, yeah. Always the tree of life puts forth its various flowers and sheds them and breaks into some flowers in the recurring season. Keeps on happening. That is the perpetuality of nature, is her way of expressing immortality. A flower, a rose blooms in the morning and fades away in the evening. But again another rose comes. So the roses die, but the rose continues to be there, you see. Karma, the working of universal energy, that is what it is doing here. Agnosticism, the bank of ungrasped infinite. He is defining what is agnosticism. You don't believe in all that thing. What is agnosticism? It is the bank of ungrasped infinite. You don't understand infinite, and therefore you become an agnostic. The soul evolving in nature. That is what is happening here, seed, etc. Soul evolving in what the Gita says. Prakatir jiva bhuta. Prakatir, by nature, jiva grows bhuta. By birth, he enjoys immortality. That is what the Upanishad says. By birth, he enjoys immortality. Sambhutya amrutam. Sambhutya, by birth. Amrutam, immortality. Ashnute, enjoy. Fate is the mechanism driving things towards that, basically. Fate is the unseen creator, adrashta, unseen creator, working out things in this manner. The unborn gods hide in his house of life. The demons and of the unknown overshadow his mind. Demons of the unknown overshadow his mind. Casting the dreams into live molds of thought, the molds in which his mind builds out his world. Now, demon is a switchover from the Indian spiritual psychology to Greek philosophy. Demon, see, the Socratic demon or the Platonic demon. It is a demon who told Plato that the goddess of love, it is she who is really holding everything here. It is she who is doing all these things. In the philosophy of Socrates, what you have got is the idea as the first thing. The idea is there, the book is there, the chair is there, and then it gets translated into a material creation. Into a material creation. We figure out, we sort of imagine, okay, my fountain pen should be like this, and then by a sequential process or whatever it gets translated into a mechanical tool here, a material tool here. See. So the idea becomes material in the Socratic. What endures, what stands, what always remains is the idea. Idea is permanent, is immortal, not the material creation necessarily. So, but the question is, how does idea become material? Philosophically, all right, you have said that thing, but how? What mechanism? It is there, the Socrates philosophy. Socrates would say, yes, it is a demon who does it. The power of inspiration, the power of working out things, it is he who does that thing, you see. So, to the Platonic idea, you add another term of a effectuating mechanism through a demon. And that is what it does here. A demon of the unknown overshadow his mind, casting the dream into live molds of thought. See, that is what it does. Our dream, he puts in the form of thoughts. What is ideal becomes now kind of real here. The molds in which his mind builds out his world. His mind creates around him his universe. So it is man then who is now creating this whole universe around him. All that has been the news in him is birth. All that can be figured in his soul. Issuing in deeds, its course to the roads of the world, obscure to the interpreting reasons again, lines of the secret purpose of the gods. That is what the demon does. In strange directions runs the intricate plan. All the possibilities are there. How they are going to be worked out? We don't know. Still, they run in intricate, in strange directions. Lines of secret purpose in strange directions runs. Intricate plan, held back from the human thought, is their end. Their held back from the human side. We don't see the direction going, where it is going to lead. We have no idea. Human mind is incapable of seeing the end of this line. Human mind is incapable of seeing the end of it. Held back from human foresight is there. There stands for directions, stands for lines. What is the end of these lines? What is the end of the directions? That human foresight cannot understand. And the far intention of some ordering will, there is ordering will, or the order of life's arbitrary charm finds out its subtle poise and fitted hour. Now again here, held back from human foresight is their end. We have a full stop at the end of end that are disappeared in other editions, in the revised edition. So in other words, this whole thing becomes one single sentence in the revised edition. In strained direction run the intricate plan, held back from human foresight is the end, and the far end intention of some ordering will, or the order of life's arbitrary chance, find out the settled poise and put it over. Now, I don't know, again, same old story, you see. Why end should become, the full stop should become a comma in the revised edition. Otherwise, it makes good sense, even as it is. Well, these are certain difficulties. For me, full stop makes perfect sense, you see, no difficulty here. In strained direction runs the intricate plan, held back from human foresight is their end. Sentence is complete by itself. And the other sentence can definitely start with and. And the far intention of some ordering will, or the order of life's arbitrary finds out. Who finds out? Some ordering will or some arbitrary chance. Finds out its settled poise and fitted over. In fact, if you see it more carefully, this full stop makes it more specific, this alternative. The ordering will or arbitrary chance finds out the poise and fitted over. It makes a better sense instead of linking up with the previous thing. You followed? Well, of course, we have seen many times in philosophy, you have got will and chance, order and chaos constantly coming in the same. Our surface washed in vain by reason's gaze. Yeah, that is our problem. We only go by our reason. That's the best faculty we have got, and we try to judge everything by that best faculty. Well, one need not blame for that. Please give us a better faculty, I'll see with a better faculty. But then the answer is, yes, you are being given constantly better faculties, but you are not receiving them. You refuse to receive them, you see. Our surface washed in vain by reason's gaze, invaded by the impromptus of the unseen. He is prompting you from behind the screen. Behind the curtain, he is prompting you, do this, do this, do this. But you are not listening to him. Help us record the accidents of time, the involuntary turns and leaps of life. Because we are not able to see things, our sight is small. We don't have that foresight. We don't see the far end of that foresight. Therefore, what happens? Only a little foresee these steps. We can see only a couple of steps behind. Beyond that we can't see. You stand on the road, you see only a part of the street. Beyond that road, what happens, your vision does not reach. But the road is there still, you see. You stand on the railway station and see the track, but afterwards you see that the track has vanished. You see. Our surface washed in vain by reason's gaze, invaded by the impromptu to the unseen. Helpless record the accidents of time, the involuntary turn and leaves of life. Now all this is staying in the context of all the possibilities exist in us, but we are not open to them. The whole context is that, you see. A vast subliminal is man's measureless part. Until now, what Savitri was seeing was the subconscient. But then there is subliminal also. A brighter part in us. The dim subconscious is his cavern base. Abolished vainly in the walks of time, our past lives still in our conscious self. Our past still lives in our unconscious self. Well, that is Freudian psychology is there and it springs up all the while. But then there is the subliminal also. The subliminal is not known to the Freudian psychology. To some extent, subliminal is known to Jung, but not to Freud. Our past lives still in our unconscious self, and by the weight of its hidden influences is shaped our future's self-discovery. So that karma is there constantly working. Thus all is an inevitable chain, cause and effect, cause and effect. Something starts moving, it produces results. And that result itself becomes the cause for the next moment. And the chain of cause and effect continues all along. Thus all is an inevitable chain. This is the law of karma, cause and effect. And yet a series seems, see, this cause and effect is there constantly. But what do we think? We say it's all accident, it has happened. But it is due to accumulated actions of ours, the good merit, the bad things in us, it is they who have produced the present results. So it is for you at the moment now to exercise your will and to bring out new cause. And that cause will produce new cause, new cause, new cause. Actually, this cause and effect, let me read something from the mother. The mother says, this is the seed of creation of tomorrow. And it is already in the center of the human being. She is talking of the future. All the possibilities are already included in what is manifest. In what is manifest, all the possibilities of the future are already included. And it is by the long process of evolution that little by little these possibilities take shape and become living realities to the process of evolution. We are approaching the time of one of these new revelations. The new possibilities are emerging. And the world is preparing for this eventful manifestation. What optimism, what powers, what strength also. We are approaching the time of one of these new revelations. And the world is preparing for this eventful manifestation, which will be more true, new manifestation, which will be more true, more luminous, more divine. Only mother can say that. All the possibilities, the cause and effect, he's talking of chain, inevitable chain. Again, we have got a lot of things here about that. Past, present, future, cause and effect. Causality. Action produces a certain result which becomes the cause for the next action. So, action produces a certain result. That itself becomes the cause for the next action. That will produce another and goes on. So, the chain, inevitable chain, continues. Now, that is the Buddhistic philosophy of life, of karma. Karma. Buddha, first cause, it is no first cause, then the universe is like a great chain with many links, the whole chain held by nothing. If there is no first cause, the whole chain of all these things is held by nothing. So it becomes futile. There has to be the first cause behind all these things. And that cause will produce its result. And that result will produce another cause and go on and on and on. The chain of karma will continue in that manner, you see. For the theist, God is the universal first cause. For the believer, God is the first cause. For the atheist, for the scientist, singularity would happen first open. That is what the physicists say. The cosmic bang, the Big Bang, came out of singularity. Where from the singularity arose? Don't ask that. But but this is James. And then agnostics, we are him. Well, actually, we are limited beings and can never know. He is clear. We are already limited, so we can never know everything. Who we are or what has created the universe, that we cannot say at all, because we are limited beings. Now, is there a way out of that limitation? For that, for him, there is no answer. We are here, we are stuck there. See. For the Greek philosopher Aristotle, there are four causes. The inevitable chain, the cause-effect. The four causes Aristotle speaks of the material cause. There has to be some material cause for a thing to happen. I want to read, and therefore I write, I print book, I distribute, I purchase, I sell, all those things. The chain goes on like that, you see. The material, that's the material cause, you see. Then the formal cause, the form. You give certain form to what that thing, you see. Then the efficient or moving cause. It is that which puts into dynamics the effect of that thing. Primary cause. And then the final cause, the aim, the purpose. And behind all the primary causes, the prime mover, the unknowing mover, the unmover who is not moved by the mover. The unmover who is not moved by the mover. He is the primary cause. So that is the Aristotle. But in the dynamics of working, what is basically clear is the cause and effect in the Buddhistic philosophy. A cause will produce an action, action will produce a cause, and will go on like that. And yet the series seems of accidents. The unremembering hours repeat old acts. He is elaborating on that. Our dead past around our future's ankles clings and drags back the new nature's glorious stride. Or from its buried corpse, old ghosts arise. Yes, they jump up suddenly, see. Old ghosts arise, old thoughts, old longings, dead passions live again, recur in sleep. So this is what we dream sometimes. Nightmare, they come up and suddenly spring up. recurrent sleep, or move the waking man to words that force the barrier of the lips. So he has to speak out. He cannot stop. The deeds that suddenly start and overleap. He is head of reason and his guardian will. The old self lurks in new self we are. Yes, behind us that old self is still there, the subconscious is there. It has not disappeared. We have to purify eventually. If you want later on a full transformation, what about the subconscious stuff which you are keeping within you? That has to be purified, that has to be emptied out. And that is exactly what Savitri is going to do in the 6th canto of this book, Nirvana. She has to blow out all that is which is there in her, Nirvana, throughout, clear off completely. Then only the divine can annul thyself wholly, that only God be. Annul yourself fully. And old self lurks in the new self we are. Hardly we escape from what we once had been. You can't help it. It's there, you see. In the dim gleam of habit's passages, in the subconscious darkling corridors, all things are carried by the porter nerve. So the porter, they are carrying the load of the past. And nothing checked by the subterranean mind, unstudied by the guardians at the door. So he's giving a beautiful image of the passage of the and passage by a blind instinctive memory. The old gang dismissed, old cancer passports served. So that gang is there. It is one of the companies or the criminals or whatever it is. They are there, they have been dismissed, but they still come there. Nothing is wholly dead that once had lived. That is the great mystery. We can't escape the burden of nature which we have on us always. It cannot be. The only way is first discover your soul. Let the soul then try to do something about the past. Purify, clear. Nothing is wholly dead that once had lived in dim tunnels of the world's being, and in ours, the old rejected nature still survives. So we dump all that thing, all those ugly things, whatever we do, we dump them back into these cellars and they come up again. The corpses of his slain thoughts raise their heads, and vast minds nocturnal walks in sleep. His stifled impulses breathe and move and rise. All keeps a phantom immortality. So that's the phantom immortality. Like a ghost, it persists, life after life. You can't escape that. To bring the divine light there, first you have to open out only through the process of the soul discovery. Then only you can work on nature. Nature cannot be altered, cannot be transformed unless you work through the agency of your soul. It is the soul who can really receive directly the divine light and force and work upon nature. Irresistible are nature's sequences. The seeds of sins renounce proud from its soil. The evil cast from our heart, once more we fail. So, if you have got difficulties in life today, don't think that they will disappear tomorrow unless you solve them today. All the difficulties which are there in your present life, they have to be solved in the present life. Don't think that they'll get automatically solved in the next life. They'll be carried forward. They'll be carried forward. So this is the occasion, this is the opportunity given to you. Work upon yourself and solve the difficulties yourself at this point. Don't think that it will happen. We'll be able to, we'll be free of them in the next birth. They will again come up again come up, again come up. He will repeat. So people say that, look, I am in terrible difficulty and all that, and they commit suicide. They are not really solving the problem. If at all, they are pushing their effort 10 lives behind. They are putting the life 10 lives behind. They have to work out all that thing. There is no escape at all. And the only way of working out is first find out your soul, your psychic being, and then work. Irresistible at nature's sequences, irresistible. You can't stop them. They are there. Cause and effect. That chain is there, inevitable chain. The seeds of sins announced sprout from its soil. The evil cast from our hearts. Once more we feel our dead selves come to slay our living soul. They will spring up again and again and again. You have to deal with them one day or the other. You can't help it. A portion of us lives in the present time. A secret mass and dim inconscience grows. Out of the inconscient and subliminal reason, we live in mind's uncertain light and strive to know and master a dubious world whose purpose and meaning are hidden from our sight. Well, he has clearly stated all that is required here. A portion of us lives in the present time, but the past is there. A secret mass and dim inconscient grooves. So what is there? That is still grouping behind, you see. Out of the inconscient and subliminal reason, we live in mind's uncertain life. In other words, all that has happened so far in the cosmic dream which Savitri is seeing, that she has gone through the subconscious, she has come to the subliminal, and she finds now that she is in the region of mind, uncertain mind. She is seeing the entire sequence. She has seen the cosmic past. She is seeing the subliminal. Behind that now, she is looking into the mind. What has come out is the mind, but the mind is with an uncertain light. And strive to know and master a dubious world whose purpose and meaning are hidden from our sight. Above us dwells a superconscious God, hidden in the mystery of His own light. So there is a little hope now. Yes, uncertain mind is there, but then above mind there are other beautiful things, greater things also. Dwells a superconscious God. Yes, we can aspire to be there. We can take His help. He can guide us. Hidden in the mystery of His own light, around us is a vast of ignorance, lit by the uncertain ray of human mind. Below us sleeps the inconscient, dark and mute. So we are in the middle. Above mind is the superconscious. Below it is inconscient, dark and mute. And we are moving into vast of ignorance. That is our mind, our uncertain human mind. So Savitri is seeing now the entire cosmic mass. Now she has come to the stage of the uncertain mind. How mind has arrived and how mind is doing things. So this is the paragraph. But this is only matter's first view. So that is the consolation the poet is giving to us. Don't get scared. There is hope for us. A scale and series in the ignorance. It does not go on and on and on, ignorance. It's only a small arc, small portion of the entire chain. This is not all. We are all our world. So the yogi is really giving great consolation to us, you see. Our greater self of knowledge waits for us. So we have got presently uncertain mind, but then there is a greater self of knowledge also waiting for us. That is what Savitri, see, that is the stream of consciousness through which Savitri is passing. The dream disclosed towards the cosmic past, she has come through all that thing, subconscious mind, she has come to the point of mind now. And she is now seeing the possibility. Our greater self of knowledge waits for a supreme light in the truth conscious vast, Brahat Satyam, truth conscious, Brahat Satyam, vast Brahat Satyam. It is there, you can see. It sees from summits beyond thinking mind. It moves in a splendid air of transcending life. It shall descend, that Brahat Satyam, it shall descend and make earth's life divine. This was in 1947. Now it shall descend and it shall descend has become it has descended. In 1956, it has become. So within 9 years it has happened. So Shivandu has to revise his Savitri. See? See? Yeah. It shall descend and make us life divine. Well, that is a promise. Truth made the world, not a blind nature force. So that is what would answer to every doubter, whether he is agnostic, whether he is Mayavadin, Shankara, or Buddha, or whosoever. Yes, it is truth. It is Satyam who has created this world. How can anything false arise in the creation of truth? For here not our large diviner heights, our summits in the superconscious blaze are glorious with the very face of God. There is our aspect of eternity. What beautiful promise, you see. There is our aspect of eternity. There is the figure of the God we are. His young, unaging look on deathless things. His joy in our escape from death and time. That is what he would joy. Yes, get out of the death and time. And that is his joy. His immortality and light and being. What a beautiful promise this one. For here not our larger diviner heights. Okay, we don't have those things. But then our summits in the superconscious blaze are glorious. In the blaze of superconscious, they're glorious. With the very face of God, there is our aspect of eternity. There is the figure of the God we are. So that is the stream of consciousness through which Savitri is moving. Yes, this is the future. What is going to happen? She has seen the past. She is seeing she has seen the past in the form of subconscious creation and all that thing. She is seeing the present as an uncertain mind. Future, that there is an aspect of eternity in us. That's what she is in the future. There is our aspect of eternity. There is the figure of the God we are. His young, unaging look on deathless things. He is always young. The eternal age of the gods is 16. The gods always have the age of 16. They are ageless, you see. There is our aspect of eternity. There is the figure of the God we are. His young, unaging look on deathless things. His joy in our escape from death and time. His immortality and light and bliss. Immortality, Amrutam, light, Prakasha, bliss, Ananda. So Amruta, Prakasha, Ananda. That is the aspect of life for us available.